News 8 at 5 starts now.
No one has to give up their faith or their beliefs to agree that the government should not tell somebody else what they should do. It should be a personal decision.
We begin at 5 o'clock with the push to ban abortion here in the state of Indiana.
The special legislative session is now underway, and day one has brought thousands of protesters and the Vice President of the United States to downtown Indianapolis. We have complete team coverage for you. First up, my teammate's Richard Essex. So, Richard, you've been there today for the first few hours of passionate testimony.
Well, there are still hundreds of people that are in the building. You can see behind us, down to the third floor in front of the Senate, there were hundreds of people that had come to testify either for or against this bill. The Senate committee gave them about 3 minutes each person to testify, but they only got through maybe 30, 40 people today. But the testimony just wrapped up a few minutes ago.
In addition, we recognize there are heartbreaking cases where, because of violence committed against women and young girls, providing some additional exceptions is necessary.
The author of the Senate abortion bill, Senator Susan Glick, a Republican from northern Indiana, says she expects a multitude of changes in the bill. And the first challenge coming from Senator Greg Taylor, a Democrat from Indianapolis. He wonders how long a victim of rape or incest has before they can get an abortion.
If the woman waits until 6 months to actually say, I was a victim of rape and this child is a product of that rape, could she receive an abortion?
I don't think she could. I think there is going to be. I think there's going to be amendments offered to tighten up those restrictions.
Today is the first committee meeting, and no legislative action is taken. And this is a chance for the public and legislators to address concerns with the bill, such as criminal penalties for those that have an abortion or health care providers.
I think this is a framework. This bill is a framework. I think it's going to be subject to amendment in several issues. One of the criticisms of the bill has been the lack of criminal penalties. And so I think you're going to see amendments in regard to that.
The bill would also allow an abortion when the mother's life is at risk. There's a question if mental health of the mother is taken into consideration.
An effort by a number of people to tighten up that exception, and they believe that life of the mother could include physical health or extreme mental health situations. However, that is a subject that has to be determined by the situation at hand, and we're trying to avoid a broad legislative definition.
Public testimony will resume tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. In total, the Senate is giving 7 hours of testimony to this one bill. And we've been told as many as 500 people have signed up to testify or to voice their opinions otherwise. Now, you can still put your testimony in email form, and it will be part of the public record. You can email it to sb1iga@in.gov. Now, I talked to one state senator today about how long did he think that the legislators would be in town for the special session. They have until August 14th, and they believe that they will be here till the very last second. At the State House, Richard Essex, Wish TV, ITV.
Richard, thank you. Our team coverage continues on this Monday with News 8's Adam Pinsker. And Adam, you spoke with supporters and activists today.
Yeah, Phil, definitely the abortion debate has been reignited here today. We are on Capitol Avenue. It's back open, but there are still quite a few people out here, very vocal. They've been out here all afternoon, and we discovered at times that this debate got very contentious. Just as soon as the Capitol opened Monday morning, people began streaming in, taking over 3 floors of the State House atrium.
We're advocating. We're talking to our elected officials. We're phone back. We're flooding their offices with phone calls, emails.
A few anti-abortion activists set up shop on the 4th floor of the Capitol. We caught up with Annalise Schrenk, who wants lawmakers to pass an abortion law that makes no exceptions for rape and incest.
My parents almost had me aborted. I shouldn't be here right now.
We asked why a teenager or 10-year-old girl who is a rape victim should be forced to carry a baby to term. This was the response.
The fact is that adoption is always an answer. A lot of people forget about that adoption is still real. You can still give your child up for adoption.
For those who didn't make it inside the Capitol for the rally, many of them set up shop along the North Steps, and at times things got a bit heated. The issue of abortion goes beyond the Capitol. Hundreds of business leaders shared opposition to any type of ban.
Women are a really big and important part of our economy. Having the ability to access education and employment is really important, and access to abortion helps make sure that that can happen.
And Planned Parenthood is encouraging their supporters to come back out here tomorrow, sign up to testify and to rally in front of the State House. We also learned that Indianapolis Right to Life is having its own rally inside the atrium tomorrow at 11 a.m. Adam Pinsker, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.
Adam, thank you. You know, the White House is also joining this conversation. Vice President Kamala Harris spent part of her morning here with us in Indianapolis, hoping to rally Democrats in the abortion debate. ITMH's Jasmine Miner is live for us outside of the Indiana State Library with a little bit more. Jasmine, what were you able to find?
Well, Alexis, Vice President joined the roundtable of Democrats on this issue. Now, reporters were allowed in the room just for brief opening remarks, but when it came to the roundtable discussion, we were taken out of the room for that. So no specific details on exactly what they discussed, but I can tell you that the Vice President here is really trying to shine a national spotlight on the only state to hold a special session to ban abortion.
On the outside, it's the People's Rally. But inside, it's the elected officials' rally and last-minute strategies to avoid a total abortion ban.
And maybe some people need to actually learn how a woman's body works.
Vice President Kamala Harris showed her support for Indiana Democrats fighting to keep abortion legal.
The parameters that are being proposed mean that for the vast majority of women, by the time she realizes she is pregnant, she will effectively be prohibited from having access to reproductive health care that would allow her to choose.
Indiana Republicans are suggesting a total ban on abortion, except for cases of rape, incest, if a mother's life is in danger, or if the baby is already fatal. But what the law could really look like is still unclear.
Why should we force babies to have babies?
Representative Cherish Pryor cited the uproar over a 10-year-old girl who was raped and then received an abortion in Indiana. She says banning abortion will only make things worse.
The maternal mortality rates in Indiana is the third highest in the nation.
She explained that women of color will suffer the most from the abortion ban. Data shows black women are 3 times more likely to die during childbirth than white women. Vice President Harris says the president is doing his part.
The president has signed an executive order to protect women's access to abortion medication and has taken action to protect the constitutional right to interstate travel. And we will do everything in our power to follow through on those commitments.
Now, look, this is important to note that this isn't just about abortion here for Republicans or Democrats. Vice President Harris made that note where the fear for Democrats is that the abortion ban is just one step closer to Republicans going after the right of contraception or gay marriage rights. I'm Jasmine Miner for Wish TV, ITMA.